Yo ho ho! Hold on, let me make sure we get it popping and shit. Let's skip all the formalities and let's hop right into this shit. Alright, so here we go. One Punch Man chapter 125 dash 167 for the other translations and the other sources. Um Review. As you guys already know how it works, you check out the live reaction first, you check out the review, then you check out maybe a topical video along the way, and then finally to end off the week, end off the chapter special, check out the One Punch Man podcast. It's all coming up, so stay tuned. So getting forward into it, you all saw the reaction. Rover's been domesticated. Now it looks like that's happened in consequence of Saitama and Goro. Now, it was mentioned by Drive Knight, and this confirms Drive Knight's information to be true in reference to Rover. Now, we always knew that the majority of his information was spot on, but there were instances of missing information or misguidedness. There wasn't really like anybody had like intentionally was misleading Drive Knight's information as far as we've seen. I wanted to try to imply that Drive Knight did have or did give Genos faulty information, but that was mainly motivated because of the shadiness, the schemes, and how quickly and easily Drive Knight actually gave Genos the information, as well as my desire to not accept his claim for Rover. But it seems that his claim for Rover is true. So that if that's true, that means that we have to add Orochi into the calculation. So maybe even Giro Giro, which I don't get the context of that. But maybe it's a different case with Giro Giro. We'll see. In this video, we're also going to discuss the eventuality of Giro Giro being just a high dragon. Is Giro Giro the next strongest after Orochi? You know, we talk about other people who should be able to be Giro Giro. Koketsu, EC. But can Giro Giro be Rover? Because we're talking about control, right? We're talking about submissiveness. We're talking about having enough force in your actions to make this monster, this high dragon monster, accept your commands. So it's off screen, but apparently Orochi did this. This is not out of the ordinary whatsoever. We know Orochi's strength. Okay. Goro wasn't stronger than Rover when he fought him, but he did deliver a strong hit to the head. This is where it breaks down. This is where I have a dilemma. He isn't stronger than him. Goro was not stronger than Rover. I can question right now if current Rover is stronger, if current Goro is stronger than Rover, because it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like it. Not only did it get back up in minutes, no, less than a minute. The time it took Saitama to walk to a different location, to turn around, basically. No, it's just the time it took Orochi to crawl up after hearing the big ass blast that he did on Rover. Then Rover woke up. Oh, Rover, come help me out. Come fight this guy. No, he ran away. This guy's durability is crazy in an instance. Now, we have to differentiate between toughness and durability in this video because I want to point that out. Goro smashed this nigga in the head, hit the ground. This technique, the cross fang, kicked him through him or whatever. So maybe he's not as immovable as we'd like him to be. Excuse me, let me move this shit forward. Maybe Rover isn't as immovable as we'd want him to be because of the instances. But to go back to the point, that's where I'm leading off at. That's where the chain of events, that necessarily doesn't break down the continuity because it makes sense. It's just that I'm okay, then it must be just showing capacity, competence. I don't know what it is exactly, but Goro wasn't stronger than Rover. So you're not telling me that Goro made him submit by putting up a tough fight. I could see more of a playful attitude. Somebody pointed out whenever Rover came back up when Fubuki was trying to persuade Bomb, that his appearance wasn't monstrous, and usually you would expect something like that to be monstrous. Actually, previously in 124, one of the best panels of Rover, that probably the best panel of Rover, was him popping up and just being fucking disgustingly just that nigga, bruh. That motherfucking nigga, bro. Like, god damn, Rover came up like that, man. About to pop them niggas point blank. He was really about that shit. So, like, to have him pop up like that, and he's like, he has his plain face, similar to the face he was gonna put on whenever, similar to the design he had whenever Bang told him to sit, and he like had that pacified look. They look similar. Like he didn't have his spiked up hair and shit. That could be another characteristic that we could describe as Rover. Because whenever he was attacking Garo, the panel where his like, I don't say all the panels were like that, but like his hair is spiked up and shit. Here it's not. So is that another characteristic of showing like domesticated or like chilled out Rover? Because that seems like a playful thing. If he came up like that, he was looking playful. So like, is Rover seeing all these opponents or this situation, or is Rover perceiving this place as just like a playful situation? Like, is he just playing around this entire time? Was he playing around with Garo? Because it didn't seem like it. He was mad. Like, he is bubbling or whatever. And presumably, these, like, cannons, fucking nukes that he's throwing out, projectiles that are now fucking targeted as well. He can manipulate them and maneuver them after being shot. Those are barks. That's the parallel. That's a real life parallel. Like, Rover's a dog. A vicious, like, mean dog, but that's what he's supposed to, like, be. And the characters that in the real life individuals that in one's head he's relating to these people in terms of Saitama, in terms of Garo, in terms of Bang, Bomb, or whatever. He may have an affiliation to somebody in the real world that he has for these people. That he's telling their tales in little small portions of it, or using some of the characteristics of real life people and placing it into these characters. It's very, very common. So it could be that like some people that he knew were around his dog that was pretty like vicious and mean to them, wasn't really nice ever, but like, fuck man, this shit hit deep, bro. Like, this is my favorite monster, man. This nigga's pacified now. I'm gonna hold on to the theory, and as you already know, the podcast is for comparing, contrasting ideals amongst the other heads in the community. So I'll definitely see what the guys say about if Rover is perceiving this entire situation as just playtime, if he's just playing around. You would think not. His facial expressions, his attitude and demeanor the entire time in all these fights, it isn't like that. It's like he's viciously trying to kill these people. But like, could just be overkill. Like, dogs bite when they're playing. That's the time. That's why I say my dog bites every single day. Whenever people ask me if my dog bites, yeah, every single day. Whenever we play, that's all he does. That's it. You gotta get used to that as an owner. So, what if this is just that? What if this is like a high dragon's form of playing? Which would, it's definitely like, the reason why I got to that viewpoint is because I'm trying to like get through this shit, like, cause you gotta understand, bro. Like, niggas call me a meathead, but like, I just love all kinds of different stories and shit. So like, One Punch Man is so unique and different that like, he's not gonna give you everything you want. He's not gonna give you that stereotypical trope that you think is like, it's played out. But sometimes tropes are not played out. Sometimes tropes are tropes because they're good, because they work. It's just that they're like overly used. So what if that good ass usage of a trope that's not fucking, that's unique, a unique usage of a trope, quote unquote, and he just fucking like rams that bitch, bruh. Fuck, bro. My nigga, like, why would you clown Rover like this? And niggas want to point out that, what I want to point out, that he got back up immediately after this shit. Motherfucking Bomb talking about some like, bro, my self-esteem is like through the fucking floor, bro. First EC, and now this nigga, like, and he's talking about, that was like secret combo technique, whatever. Like, we'll get to like how unimpressive this shit was, whatever. But like, it's still not enough to make me like be okay with my boy, like, my boy, bruh. Fuck, bro. Hold on, let me check quick fast and make sure the stream is going straight 8. I don't want any, like, catastrophic issues to pop up. But it looks like the audio's good. Alright. But, alright, let's get back into it. So, yeah, I guess that addresses, like, my feelings on, like, on Rover being pacified. So let's address the other thing. So the Cross, Fang, Dragon Slayer, Fist. So this is like, apparently this is supposed to be more impressive than the Whirlwind Flowing Water or a Sky Ripping Fist. Try to abbreviate that in the video as we speak. But didn't seem like it was drawn like it. Scenario didn't call for it. The feat didn't even seem that as impressive in any regard. So I don't know if I can like accept that claim. It's another one of those instances. Maybe we can expect a redraw, because coincidentally, this is like fantastic. Murata and One are a lot more in touch with like updating and adjusting like the manga and like what they draw and what they put out than any other story I've seen. Any other story that I've read or been up to date with or followed along with. Kingdom doesn't do it. One Piece doesn't do it. Nothing at this level, bro. So I could, just the fact that like that's so unimpressive compared to like, you know, the Aura Fist, like, my nigga, redraw that bitch, bro. Redraw that bitch. Do something else. But regardless of that, I definitely like, I'm having sour thoughts about the situation, but in general, it was pretty fucking powerful to send Rover like that, send Rover flying like that, and then the kick at the end. But I definitely think it looked weaker than the Aura Fist. It was less impressive than the Aura Fist. Like, I don't know. But then you have some other parallels. So on the other side of the argument, with the Aura Fist up against EC actually managed to counterattack, like, as they were doing it. Yeah. Like, it hit the ground, they popped it, they delivered the hit. He, like, flew backwards or whatever, he started to pop or whatever. And then, like, before, like, he finished molting, or before he actually started molting, he came back and counterattacked him. And then he, like, molted the skin off or whatever. And they were like, what the fuck? So, like, even the Aura Fist, for as strong as an attack as it was, for as crazy as an attack as it was, for as well drawn as that attack was, like, EC, I think I have to give credit to EC in the reread in that instance over Rover. Now, like I said, they're claiming that this, just because it's a secret technique or whatever, secret combo, we're supposed to give it some type of credit as being very, very powerful. I'm not sure if we're supposed to correlate it with the Aura Fist as being superior to it, but you would assume so. It's a combo technique that they're both there, and you know what I'm saying. So, like, whatever it is, Rover wasn't able to counterattack. He got knocked to the ground and then he got back up. So, like, but then we have the disparity between Rover's durability and EC's durability, defense, all that stuff like that. So that, we could just chalk that up to the situation. But I'm more with the attack that happened up against EC, the Orifice, than I am fucking with the Cross Fang Dragon Slayer Fist shit. This may seem blasphemous, but Goro used a single fist and slammed Rover down. He got immediately back up. Like, he went like almost like he like hopped onto the ground, like bounced off the ground. It wasn't exactly that fast with Bang and Bomb, but like, he got right back up too. This is their secret combo. Both of them together. Shouldn't it be way stronger? Shouldn't it do way, way more than what Goro did? Here's what I'm saying. So, in order to hit, to send Rover flying, you gotta do a 50, right? 50 newtons of force, right? And Goro did like a 55. He punched him, sent him to the ground. The Orifice sent him flying. Hit the wall. Cool. 80. Right? Far above a nice 10, three stacks of 10, right? I guess we could say the time in which they took to get back up should also be attributed into the situation, to the thought process, to the equation. But like, I don't know if I'm just sour, but I can't help but feel that like this downplays once again the crossfang attack. Now on the verse side, people could say like, oh, Saitama threw a single punch and it sent him flying too, but then he got knocked out. So yeah, we do have to take what happens after, how long it take to get back up, and it was definitely like a minute or two, or a minute, or however long it took Orochi to get back up. So let's say seconds, let's say a few minutes to a few seconds, because as we know, some of these events are happening simultaneously. This is like I said, it may be far fetched, but I, I don't know if that's like degrading the crossfang by having Goro do a similar thing to it. We'll see. Um, in one of the panels, we also saw that Fubuki had like this really badass reaction to Bang and Bomb's combo, right? Started like blushing over and like lusting over, not necessarily lusting, but like she wants to add Bomb to the addition of the Fubuki group for sure. So last time we talked about Fubuki stepping up and Bang and Bob acknowledging the fact that she stepped up and showing true virtue and true leadership, sacrifice, right? The podcast, Zoe and the rest of the guys are like, no, I don't think Bang and Bomb's viewpoint of Fubuki is really going to change. This is Saitama's group. But I think that's one of the first steps, and this is the second one. She now acknowledges them, him in particular, Bomb. So with the previous point of like Fubuki stepping up and them acknowledging that she stepped up, there's no possibility of like I guess I'm trying to say like they respect each other, or they've acknowledged each other's strength. So the only other person that like she's like really like blessed and gushed over for strength is Saitama. She's acknowledged others, Sonic, Genos, for example. She always misses the S class. She knows the monikers, the tails of the S class, but and this is it right here. Do you think Fubuki thinks that Bang and or Bomb are stronger than Saitama? Remember the instance, the dynamic between everybody in the group and the strength of other people is all mixed. Nobody thinks that everybody's the exact same strength. Genos knows Saitama's true strength from what he's seen so far. King knows Saitama's true strength from what he's seen so far. Fubuki has seen a different degree of strength than either of them have because of the parallel or the peril that they were in. There, Fubuki was around. She's seen a much smaller degree of Saitama's ability, while Bang has literally seen Saitama do like what he was gonna attempt to do easily with ease. He even said he couldn't do it. The meteor example, for example. So it's really, I'm just saying, it's gonna play into that like whole a funny ass dynamic where like they don't really know how strong each other are. So like maybe the next time the new Fubuki group meets, or like whenever these guys meet underground, or they run into Saitama, or they run into King, or whenever they meet the next time, I'm wondering if like Fubuki's gonna start treating like Bang as the strongest in the group, or Bomb as the strongest in the group, and not Saitama. Like is she gonna start disregarding Saitama? I'm wondering how that's gonna play out like that. I'm wondering because that really interested me. Like her the amount of desire that she has for Bang, or she's for Bomb, because it's not sexual, but she did put on her charm. She put her hands on her hips. She's like, "Oh, hey, Bomb, I'm so impressed." Like, damn, Fubuki. And one nigga was like, "I'm impressed too, young lady." With a smirk on his face, what did nigga know about this shit, bruh? Hell yeah, bruh. But I'll leave that alone for now, bro. I'll leave that alone for now. Like, shit. But I think I wanted to touch on is, so previously I mentioned that the cavern that Rover was fighting in 124 up against Bang and Bomb. We saw, the big pillar center, the honeycomb design for all the like floors of the underground base that have been like carved through. I was wondering, we asked and we speculated for quite a bit whether Rover caused all that destruction. Now, I think it's improbable, but it's likely, maybe. I'm not sure, but I think it's gonna be one of those one of the terrain things that's been happening in this entire arc. So if you guys remember, Flashy Flash was fighting in a hallway, right? And then they just used as a strategy to try to enclose him. They filled it out with wires, metal wires and stuff to keep his speed contained. It didn't work. So then they decided to switch arenas and they went down to this like another portion, a little like whole cavern portion, whatever you want to call it. But there was a river at the bottom or a lake at the bottom, and there was a bridge above that. That same place is where the ninja duo and Flashy Flash fought. It is also the same place where Brave Giant punched Phoenix Man through, and that's where they like ended up at the bottom of that lake that Flashy Flash and the boys were fighting over. Actually, that's actually where he dropped the transponder, I believe. So now that we can confirm that there are connections between locations, and it's probably other characters who've probably gone through the same areas or been through similar areas as others have already. I just haven't really seen the big ass signs for it, the direct signs for it. So with that being said, do you think it's possible that the place where Rover was just fighting is the result of the destruction of Orochi's chest blast? Orochi did two blasts. The first one, he cut up his arm with all the dragons, and he blasted Tatama point blank. Sent him flying back, lifted the majority of the city, country, under the city. Then he dodged Saitama when he came for a punch, opened up his chest, a bigger cavity, bigger than his arm, his mouth, all the heads in his hair, I think his hands as well, everything. Blasted downward. We saw nothing of that destruction. I'm still waiting for that panel. And I think we just saw it. I think that's what that is. Because I think this is the bottom of where they were. The only thing that's stopping me from accepting that completely is that we saw a panel of Saitama looking downward with Orochi's mask on the ground. So I'm not sure if like we've already been to the bottom, or if there is a bottom of that place where Orochi and Saitama were fighting. I'm really interested to see that. Next, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but Giro's eye was at the top of the roller coaster. Whenever it was like going down the like badass drawing of a little hall right there. It was so badass looking, bro. That shit looks so fucking good, man. The texture designs of the tiles and shit, and like the down, it was so fucking badass. But like, once they went through, and Saitama had his hands up, saying like, "Woo!" It was a big glass ball. In the center of it at the top, and it said "click," as if it was like one of those photo things at those theme parks. Kind of crazy how even though she's fighting Tatsumaki, dealing with that kind of like crazy ass firepower, also able to like have all those other things working simultaneously. Now, I don't think that's too far fetched because we've shown her doing that, but you think that whenever she's like in a dying peril situation, she may like focus all her attention, control to one thing. That isn't the case. Or maybe they're autonomous. Whatever the case is, Giro should now know Saitama and Flashy Flash are together. She knows Flashy Flash by name and exactly his power, but she's only seen it. I know she's seen and encountered Saitama before, but at the same time, there are a bunch of myths and things that have happened around that she's talked about, but she doesn't know directly. Like, for example, the crazy monster in A City or Z City, or like the killing of Oketsu. She made a remark about that. That's like, oh wow, that's crazy. So like, I'm wondering to see if like something special is gonna pop up. If she's gonna be the first one to acknowledge, because she's a genius here. I don't think it will. The fact that like Child Emperor was standing next to Saitama or sitting next to Saitama, I didn't realize anything. That may mean that like tech won't be able to necessarily show you how strong somebody is exactly, directly, or whenever you need it readily. So I don't know. Like, I guess I'm trying to say like, if is Giro smart enough to find a way to like stifle Saitama, because you can like get him lost. That's what happened with the ship. He got annoyed and he started just busting through shit. But you can't. So like, I don't know. I don't know how Giro's gonna deal with the fact that Saitama and Flash are together. That's gonna be exciting to see. So The fight with Giro and Tatsumaki rages on. Um, it's been going for a few chapters. I like it. We've seen the diversity of attacks. It's pretty powerful. So I think it's about time for us to discuss, like I mentioned, if Giro's a high dragon or not. That gravity attack, forcing you or condensing you into a shape, like the square. Tatsumaki did as well with the ball in terms of like 100 eyes. So like potency and offensive damage too. She can throw shit, lightning, force fields. She's a fucking monster. Diversity out the ass. She's a true psychic user. And she's displayed a lot of things I've always wanted to see in psychic users. I want to give her that high dragon credit because up against other guys it'd be tough. But at the same time, it looks like brute force can deal with that. Brute force can deal with that. And I think Darkshine could do that. Low-key think Flashy might be able to do that. No, Atomic can do that if in the vicinity. Bang, most likely, sure, can probably be Giro. Goro can probably be Giro. Rover can be Giro, in my opinion. But like we said before, we're supposed to be like speculating on that because, oh, she's commanded Rover. Rover's told Rover to come here or whatever. So, like, she's going to listen to her? If he listens to her, does that mean that he's submissive to her? If he's submissive to her, does that mean that Giro is stronger than Rover? I don't know, bro. It ain't up to me. I'm just here to read the bits. All I know is that Giro versus Tatsumaki is a good fight so far. I like that shit. It's been like cut out and sparse. And I'm not sure if we're gonna get a chapter where it's just them putting in that work, like actually displaying it and not trying to find each other, hide from each other, like playing cheap tricks. No, like straightforward. We got that before a little bit, but it wasn't a full chapter. So I don't know. There's a few more things I like should play out that I'm anticipating because I feel like not only has the Garo versus Darkshine fight been held back again for a Rover interaction, which by all intents and purposes is nothing but satisfying. Yes, thank you. But at the same time, like, give me more. It was too short. I wanted more defensive abilities, attacks, creativeness, like destruction, people being hurt by this. I'm tired of people leaving unscathed out of these situations. Goro shouldn't be the only one who has to deal with like almost dying every single fight. But I put that on the side. That was it for 125. 123 had like one or two things. We saw like we saw like the redraws and stuff like that, little like amplifications or improvements on what we saw in the original 123. But we saw some new meat puppets for Giro as we made canon. And so it looks like the meat puppet that we had isn't like some unique thing. It's of many, and they're all organics. It looks like they may be like based on living beings. If you guys will check the manga decks, which is back up, the panel what I'm talking about, the 123 revision, there's actually on the farthest right of the meat puppets. It's a tall one. She looks organic, kind of like longish or whatever. But like she resembles a monster that we saw in the Zombie Man chapter. In the beginning of the Zombie Man chapter, this monster rushed Zombie Man and able to face off. But they kind of had a similar appearance. I think we saw that monster before, actually, that too. In one of the in the backgrounds of one of the previous chapters, because that monster's familiar and the design is familiar. But that being said, that's about it for 125. This chapter was good, but like I said, it was short. It's gonna be. We can come up with a lot of things to talk about this that are diverse because this does set up or conclude a lot of stances that we're probably going to hold for a long time. I don't expect Rover to have another fight for at least another 5 chapters. I think other people are going to get the spotlight. So 5 chapters is about like 2 months, 3 months, something like that. Maybe six to 8 chapters. So for at least another like 3 to 4 months, I don't expect to see much more on Rover. But if we do, I'm really, really excited for that shit. Like I said before, like, subscribe, get in the Discord below if you guys want to chat about not only 125, I keep saying 124, 125, but anything in general, anything manga, anime in general, come to the Discord. Support us on Patreon, or this is a new year, so if you guys want to have any new pledges, we're going to be adjusting the Patreon's status or whatever, so remind you guys, your $5 status, you get shout outs in every single video, in the One Punch Man podcast video, the $10 status, you get the ability to answer or to make poll questions, and with the $20 status, you get it uncut, early, exclusive access to the One Punch Man podcast the day of recording. So if you'd like to have any of those perks on the way, if you'd like to access the podcast beforehand and not wait those like 2 to like 4 days that it usually takes to edit and bring out the podcast, just go ahead, jump into Patreon and support us, as it helps with all the things that we do on the channel. With that up though, see y'all boys, right? Oh, damn, right? I hate this shit, bro, because like I gotta like literally look for the thing. Hold on. Here it is.